Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Freeman Motorsports. Thanks for tuning in once again. Today we have your last chance qualifiers and heats up for you guys here in the Busch Light Clash at the Colosseum. It is great to see NASCAR's back out on track here for the 2023 season to kick things off. And heat race number 1 is about to be underway here momentarily. On pole is Justin Haley, the man that was quick in qualifying last night, but also quick in practice. I think he is going to be able to probably easily dominate this first heat race. But kind of a surprise behind him, Eric Almirola rolling off second. He did not make the main show last year. And just behind him, same thing with Alex Bowman. And behind him, Harrison Burton. All three of those drivers were not able to make it into the big race last year. But here we are in 2023, and they are going to be starting in locked-in positions. Behind them is the defending winner, Joey Logano, who has the last race-in spot. And behind him, the rookie Noah Gragson, and then Michael McDowell in 7th, who had a lot of speed in practice. Chris Buescher in 8th, and Ty Dillon rounds out your field in 9th. So the top 5 will advance to the big dance, and then the bottom 4 will have to race their way in through a last-chance qualifier. But yeah, we are about to get started here with the green flag. 25 laps, 4 heat races. Top 5 from each heat race advance to the big show. Then you have 2 50-lap last chance qualifiers where the top 3 from each of those will race their way in as well. What's up, Ski Racer? How are you doing? What's up, Ski Racer? I just came from skiing, so I don't know if that's what you're talking about is skiing, but I still got my snow pants on. I literally just started into the house, and yeah, we're about to be going live for the first heat race. Going to get a quick drink before the green flag is out. One more pace lap till green. Ski Racer 73 is a pretty busy day. So I think only about like 20 runs or so. Still solid. Anyways. Here they come, Justin Haley on the inside, Almirola on the outside. Green flag in the air for the first time in NASCAR for 2023. Good start for Almirola on the outside. Is actually able to stay side by side with Haley down the back straightaway. He has the advantage. Oh, Gragson giving a big shot to the back of Bowman there. Now Gragson almost gets spun off the side of Logano. A lot of bumping and banging here already. Gragson is using the chrome horn like crazy here early on. He remembers how hard, well, he wasn't in the race last year, but it was hard to pass last year, and he is already using that chrome horn as ways to make his way forward. But Justin Haley now out to the front. Almirola in second, but under pressure from Bowman. And Harrison Burton's going to get dumped by Noah Gragson. And the caution's going to be out for the first time today. Oh, my goodness. These guys are going crazy here early on. I mean, we're on lap number 3, and it's like they're just running each other over. Gregson's already run over like half the field, and we're on lap number 3. He just kind of dives it in there and just... Actually, it's not even necessarily his fault on this one. I think he kind of gets a bit of help from the 17. So the 17 pushes the 42, who dumps the 21, but... I mean, the previous couple laps, Gragson has already bumped into the back of Burton, Buescher, and Bowman. But amidst all of this, Joey Logano has dropped all the way to the tail of the field, so your defending winner of this race is in some jeopardy here early on. Now, if things don't work out for Logano and he doesn't make his way in through his heat race, he can take the points finisher, I don't know, but the highest points finisher in 2022 gets locked in spot. They're not able to race their way in through one of the heat races. Also, you guys want to see the dog is on the camera here today. Drop a like for the dog. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure you drop a like if you haven't already. So now your running order after that spin with Gragson and Burton is Haley, Almirola, Bowman, Burton. Oh, wait. Is this updated? Hold on. Not sure if this leaderboard here is updating. Going to see if I can find a way around that. Going to just refresh it here really quick. Hopefully that should sort that out. If not, we have other ways around this. Yeah, crazy racing already. And also, caution laps do not count. Keep that in mind. Okay, this is still not the updated leaderboard. Or, oh, wait, no. Okay, no, it is. It is. That's my bad. It is. It's just because it's a red flag under caution, it won't adjust the lineup for, since Harrison Burton, it says he's still in 4th, but that's where he was when they last got across the line, but it'll adjust once they go green again, which they are about to right now. So Haley was able to keep the lead on the last restart, but now it's Bowman restarting on the outside line. Almirola on the inside of row 2. Chris Buschert is outside. He's made up 4 spots here early on. That's a good run for Chris. Just got to avoid the chaos, though. Gregson has been he's just been driving like a madman here early on. We'll see if that continues on here in a moment. Also, the leaderboard is probably going to be just a little bit ahead of me. Keep that in mind. Your top 5 that you see on your screen are all locked in. Yes, Leatherhead Racing is back with the Busch Clash at the Colosseum. Thanks to everybody tuning in. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate it. And here they go off of turn number 4. Only 2 laps complete so far. Green flag back in the air. Good restart for Haley on the inside. Oh, him and Bowman are going to bump, though, off of turn 2. That's going to open the door for Almirola down low. He thinks about it. Decides to back out. But Haley and Bowman are going to bump doors again in turns 3 and 4. Haley will lead it at the line. Further back, Gregson and Busch are side by side for 5th place, and Logano back in 6th. Gregson's going to move up to 4th as he'll pass Buescher. Haley is clear for the lead. Now Almirola is on the inside of Bowman, and he is trying to take 2nd place back from that 48 car. Everybody's trying to get down to that inside line, similar to Martinsville. The inside line is the fastest way around this racetrack. And now Bowman's getting shuffled out here. Almirola has cleared him, and now Gregson is going to the inside of Alex Bowman. And he's trying to take 3rd spot away from that 48 car, and he is going to be able to do so. Now Bowman's going to find his way to the inside line here in 4th place. Now Joey Logano on the bumper of that 48 machine. The top 5 advance to the main event. Right now, Buescher, McDowell, Burton, and Ty Dillon are looking like they're going to have to race their way in through the last chance qualifier, but still only 7 laps complete, 18 laps to go. But right now, Haley's trying to keep the tradition alive of the pole sitter in these heat races, leading every lap and winning the heat race. Track position is very key. And it looks like Michael McDowell has gotten by Chris Buescher for 6th place. So Buescher had a good initial start, but he has dropped further back down the leaderboard. Thanks to everybody tuning in. Drop a like. We got 10 likes already. Let's get it up to 20 likes. I appreciate it. Oh, Bowman putting the bumper back to Gregson, and now Bowman looking to take 3rd place away from Noah. Oh, Gregson getting a bit of a shot there from the 22. Almost spun it around off of turn 4. Man, these guys are racing rough here. There has kind of developed a bit of a gap between the 5th and 6th place cars, about 2 or 3 car lengths on the straightaway, so a bit of breathing room for Logano. They're coming up on kind of the halfway point in this heat race. Chris Buescher has dropped all the way down to 9th, so it looks like the RFK cars are going to continue to struggle at the Colosseum. I really don't know what it is. They were not able to figure out they were not able to figure it out last year, and it looks like they haven't figured it out yet this year. Almirola, though, really seeming to find some pace in that 10 car. He has reeled in your leader, Justin Haley, and now Almirola all over the bumper of the 31 Celsius machine. 11 to go in heat race number 1. Your top 5, Haley, Almirola, Bowman, Gregson, and Logano. They all have the transfer spots. It's about a half a second gap from 5th to 6th, where Michael McDowell is the first man out. Then Burton, Ty Dillon, and Chris Buescher runs in last. Buescher really starting to struggle. He's dropped about a second off the back end of the field. Gregson's starting to struggle as this long run has gone on. Logano's starting to catch up to the back of this 42 machine. But still, Michael McDowell not able to really reel in these guys for 5th place. 8 to go this time by. Your top 3 now starting to get pretty close. Haley, Almirola, and Bowman. Oh, Almirola gives a shot there to the back of the 31 there through turns 1 and 2. Oh, Logano gives a bit of a bump there to the 42. And that kind of caused the 22 to have to check up. And oh, Almirola is going to go to the inside of Haley in turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Almirola is your new leader at the Colosseum, and Bowman's also going to make that pass happen. So just like that, Haley is going to drop from first to third in 1 lap. You may think that's not a lot of track position in this heat race, but in the main event, that's going to cost him about 4 or 5. I think actually, no, it's going to cost him 6 positions from his starting position in the main event. So he's going to be trying to fight for some of that back here. Now McDowell has gotten all over the bumper of Logano with 4 to go. What is he willing to do? Oh, boy, McDowell. 3 to go. He's got to be willing to use the bumper here to get Logano out of the way. Oh, boy. Logano has a locked spot in the final, so he doesn't have to race as hard as these other guys. The final lap here in heat race number 1. Can McDowell get by Logano? He's going to have to use the bumper. At the front, though, Almirola has taken the lead from Haley and driven away. Eric Almirola is going to win heat race number 1. Alex Bowman second. Haley third. Gregson fourth. Logano fifth. McDowell was not able to get there. He's the first man out. McDowell, Burton, Ty Dillon, and Chris Buescher will all be going to the last chance qualifier. Almirola missed the show last year. He was actually the first wreck in the next-gen car last year at this event. But he's changed his story at this racetrack, and now he will be starting on pole for the main event, I believe. Fueled by Bacon, that number 10 Smithfield machine. And Joey Logano, your defending winner of this race, was just able to scrape his way in. He's going to be rolling off, I believe, in about 16th or so, somewhere in that ballpark. So if he does want to go back-to-back at the Clash, he's going to have to put in a lot of work. Yeah, Ski Racer 73 sucks for Burton. Yeah, I know. That spin really affected him. Like I said, track position is key at this racetrack. So, but now on to the next heat race. So, yeah, Almirola will be starting on pole. Bowman will start 5th. Haley will start 9th. Gregson will start 13th, and Logano will start 17th. So hold on 1 second, guys. I don't think many people were predicting Eric Almirola to be starting on pole for this event, that's for sure. And with track position being such a big factor, I would say he immediately jumps up to one of the favorites to win it tonight. But in this next heat, you have Kyle Busch starting on pole and Austin Dillon is outside, and all RCR front row. Just working on something, trying to actually add up this whole... Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Should have this sorted out here pretty soon. Oh yeah, that's looking a little better. That's looking a little better. There, now you got the whole leaderboard. So you got 1st through 5th, and you got 6th through 9th. There we go. That's a little better. Do you guys like that more now that you can have the whole running order of these heat races? Let me know in the chat. Is that better? Is that better? Thanks to everybody tuning in. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. But now you can see your whole starting order for this heat. Kyle Busch, Austin Dillon, Kyle Larson in third, Harvick fourth, Stenhouse fifth. Then Truex sixth, who was the fastest car in practice but had a bad qualifying lap. He's going to have to pass some guys to get his way in. Cindric in seventh, Chase Elliott in eighth, B.J. McLeod in ninth. So honestly, this is going to be one hectic heat race. This is going to be a stacked heat race right here. You're probably going to definitely see at least one or two big names have to go to the last chance qualifier in this heat. It's just a matter of who. We're going to be going green next time by. I think Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon are safe, starting that far up in the field. But everybody else, so who knows? We saw what Gregson was willing to do in the last heat race. We'll see what happens in this one. And here comes Kyle Busch with a good restart here to start off heat number 2. He's going to edge out ahead of his teammate down the back straightaway. Oh, he's actually going to get a lot of contact from his teammate, though, into turns 3 and 4. Austin Dillon getting a big shot from Kevin Harvick behind him. Kyle Larson seizing the moment and jumping up to second place, though. And now Suarez looking to take third away from Austin Dillon. Dillon has dropped from second to fourth place here. Early on in this heat race, back at the back there, three wide, Cindric, Harvick, and Elliott. Oh, boy. And Suarez is up to third, and Truex is up to fourth from sixth place. Those guys are moving forward. And I had said Austin Dillon might be safe, but he's already fallen from second all the way back to fifth. Oh, my goodness. Truex, though, not taking any prisoners as he is rubbing Stenhouse and moving up to third place. Well, Stenhouse is not giving it up just yet, but Truex has the preferred line, and he'll clear him this time. I'll return 4. 5 laps complete, 20 to go in heat race number 2. Your top 5, Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Austin Dillon. Then Cindric, Elliott, Harvick, and McLeod, your first 4 out. Now Dillon is able to get to the inside of Stenhouse into turn 1, and Dillon is going to go back up to 4th, and Stenhouse is now the driver on the chopping block. And Elliott's still struggling here. Elliott started in 8th and has only been able to move up to 7th. Also Harvick, who started 4th, I believe, and has dropped all the way back to 8th. But a lot more bumping and banging this year than from what we saw last year, that's for sure. At the front of the field, though, Kyle Busch maintaining about a 3-4 car length lead over Kyle Larson. Then Truex even further back behind that. Another pretty big gap to Dillon. And then you have Stenhouse in 5th. Austin Cindric starting to reel in Stenhouse right now. Cindric missed this race last year. He did go on to win the Daytona 500 just 2 weeks later. But he is trying to find some better luck at this racetrack. Harvick and Elliott, though, still, they're just both really struggling right now. 15 to go in heat number 2. Yeah, oh, I was not able to get this information to you guys yesterday, but yeah, the top speed for these guys on this racetrack, low 80s, maybe 83, 84 miles an hour. And then the low speed in the center of the turns is high 30s, so like 38, 39 miles per hour. Kyle Busch maintains a 0.6 of a second lead over Larson, but Truex has reeled in Larson for that second position. Your top 3 now separated by less than a second. It's a big gap, though, back to Dillon, who's 2.5 seconds off the lead. Kyle Larson has been now passed by Martin Truex Jr. Truex all the way up to second. That 19 car looks really strong. He did not have a good qualifying run, but I would definitely have my eyes on him in the big dance later tonight. I'll check up on the chat after this heat race. Oh, Elliott slow off the pace there, it looks like. Or he's dropped all the way back to 8th. Don't know if he got any help with that. We'll see if maybe we'll get a replay of something here. Oh, Harvick just gave a shot to the back of the 2 car and knocked off his front bumper camera, but we have a battle for the lead. Truex looking to go to the inside of Kyle Busch, and Kyle Busch going for the crossover on the 19. We haven't seen much of that on this racetrack. And he's going to be able to stay up the inside of the 19. That was a really crafty move there by Kyle Busch. I think that's literally the first crossover we have seen here. Truex is now going to try and cross over Kyle Busch. 6 to go. Now with Truex having the preferred line, you'd think he should be able to hold off Kyle Busch here, but Kyle Busch going to try and get underneath him there. Can't get the power down. Got pretty sideways there off of turn 4. Still 5 to go. And your top 3 are all bunched up once again. Oh, Austin Cindric is around in turns 1 and 2. And that'll bring out the yellow flag with 5 to go. Oh, Kevin Harvick has now dumped Austin Cindric, it sounds like. Oh, so it looks like Cindric was giving the 4 car a bit of a shot. And then the following lap, the 4 car just cleans out the 2 into turn 3. But now this will bunch up the field once again in Stenhouse. He thought he was safe, but no, not anymore. So it's Truex, Kyle Busch, Larson, Dillon, and Stenhouse. That's your first 5 in. Then the first 4 out, Elliott, Harvick, McLeod, and Cindric. So you got some heavy hitters right there. Elliott and Harvick below the cut line. I'd have to imagine they're going to be willing to use the bumper to try and knock Stenhouse or Dillon out of that top 5. Yeah, B.J. McLeod was already a lap down in that heat race. That's pretty rough. But it looks like they've found something. I mean, he's back on the lead lap with that car. Hold on just a moment. I think they're going to be going green next time by. And with the choose cone being involved, Truex and Kyle Busch both went low, and Kyle Larson in 3rd was the first person to go high. Dillon then went low, and then Stenhouse went high. Cindric goes high, and then Elliott is going to be the 4th car on the inside line. So now Stenhouse was able to use the choose cone to jump up to 4th from 5th, but he is kind of at the mercy of whoever is to his inside here on this restart. We're going to be getting the green flag here with 5 laps to go. Truex on the inside, Larson on the outside. Dillon currently has the last transfer spot. Elliott the first man out. Green flag is out. A really good restart for Truex. Oh, and we've already got Austin Cindric around again. And he just got spun twice, but they're going to keep it green here, actually. And now it's Larson in 3rd, Dillon in 4th, and Stenhouse in 5th. And Harvick and Elliott are throwing everything they've got at it right now, but it looks like they're almost too busy battling each other, and they're letting Stenhouse drive away from them. 3 to go here. Truex out front by quite a margin. Then Kyle Busch in 2nd, Dillon 3rd, Larson 4th. Stenhouse has the last transfer spot. Elliott is the first man out. Oh, he's all over the bumper, that 47, man. What is Elliott going to be willing to do? 2 to go, 2 to go. Elliott, he just can't quite get there this time into turns 3 and 4. Stenhouse with a big lockup. That might give Elliott his shot. Final lap. White flag is out. Elliott to the inside of Stenhouse. This might be his opportunity. Harvick Going to give the 9 a shot. Stenhouse, he's going to have a shot at him. Is he willing to spin out Elliott here? He's going to give the 9 a tap. Oh, and they both go wide. Can Harvick beat Elliott to the line? Yes, he will. Oh, my goodness. What happened there? Oh, wow. Stenhouse tried to repay Elliott, and he locked up his own tire. He sent himself too hard and also put Elliott wide, and it was a drag race to the line, and Harvick went from 8th, or no, he went from 7th to 5th in the last turn, beat Elliott by an inch. Oh, my goodness. That was a crazy finisher already. Stenhouse gives that bump to the 9. The 9 goes wide. Then Harvick will just beat Elliott to the line by maybe a foot. Oh, my goodness. But Elliott might be able to get in off that point provisional. We'll have to see, though. I think as long as Bell and Chastain race their way in, then Elliott would get that point provisional. And I believe Bell's going to be starting on pole for one of the heat races, and Chastain also has good track position for his heat race. So, oh, it's funny. You see the other guys in the infield, they're like, that's a crazy finish right there. Oh, my goodness. But it's going to be Truex starting 2nd in the main event, Kyle Busch starting 6th, Dillon starting 10th, Larson 14th, and Harvick in 18th. And then Elliott, Stenhouse, Cindric, and McLeod all going to the last chance qualifier. Hold on one second, guys. Thanks to everybody tuning in. Thank you for reminding me there's Ski Racer. Yeah, LB makes content. That was awesome. That might already be in contention for the finish of the year, possibly. Or the finish for something of the year. That was crazy. We'll be uploading that as a highlight later. Yeah, Chase is still going to make it in probably through the points provisional, I'd imagine. And if he doesn't make through the points provisional, it'd be crazy if Chase Elliott somehow missed the Clash. That would be unbelievable. But next up, or here, I'm looking at the chat. Stenhouse was sacrificed for Chase, but he didn't even end up making it in there. So, man, I kind of hope Stenhouse is able to find a way in through his last chance qualifier, but we'll still see. So heat race number 3 up next. 2 down, still 2 to go, and they have been great so far. Thanks to everybody tuning in. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe. Yeah, Stenhouse and Elliott talking over right now. I'm surprised that they're so tame about it, to be honest with you. So, yeah, literally the last lap, Harvick just has everything fall his way. Stenhouse just shoves himself and shoves the 9 wide, and then it's a drag race to the line. And he just gets there. Yeah, Harvick, you could see it in his eyes. He was like, oh, my goodness, I can't believe it. We'll hear what Elliott has to say here. Yeah, man. Okay, we'll just have to see, though. The next 2 heat races are about to start here. Little delay because they can only fit so many cars in the infield. So basically, they had the first 2 heat races sitting in the infield. Now they're swapping them out with the next 2 heat races. So it sounds like they might have something going on in the 9 car, but yeah, all these cars are already totally scuffed up like it's a Martinsville race, which this is basically a mini Martinsville race. Oh, ski racer, I can't lie. I'm kind of with you on that one. I'll keep that between you and me, though. But here we are, heat race number 2 about to get underway. Next up will be Martin. Oh, wait, nope. This is still the results from the last one. Just give me a moment here. This is going to be Bell starting on pole for heat race number 3. Hamlin to his outside and all Joe Gibbs front row. In row 2, Daniel Suarez on the inside, Chase Briscoe on the outside. In row 3, Tyler Reddick and Brad Keselowski. In row 4, Todd Gilliland and J.J. Yaley. And rounding out your field, Ryan Blaney, who messed up in qualifying. He's starting from the back. We'll see what he can do. We already have seen a couple big drivers miss their way into the main event through the heat race. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see another couple names added to the list in this heat race. I would keep your eye on Todd Gilliland. He was sneakily fast in practice. Just refreshing the pages here real quick. Oh, boy. But, yeah, like I said, I thought that I would say that Bell and Hamlin are locks. I think starting on the front row, that track position, unless you have a problem or, somebody spins you out, which, isn't really out of the realm of possibility necessarily, you're pretty much locked in. Hold on one moment. There we go. Oh, yeah. But yeah, guys, thanks to everybody tuning in. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe. We're kind of struggling right now because, we got some people out there streaming the actual broadcast. They'll probably get taken down here sometime shortly. Hopefully so. That always makes it pretty difficult for what we're trying to do here, but oh my goodness, there's like 10 of them streaming it. Oh, that's like a record. I've like never actually seen it like this. There's like literally like 20 of them. Hopefully they'll get taken down before the main event. Do I like the new look do you like the look of the new tires on the cars? I wasn't even aware that there was a new look. They look the same. So I guess I liked them already. But here we are, green flag out for heat number 3. And we might be seeing some team orders here, or at least attempted ones, but it doesn't work out. And we see a lot of bumping and banging through turn 1. Chase Briscoe's going to tag the wall. Through it all, they're still 3 wide again here. Daniel Suarez is going to get shuffled out from 3rd place. He's all the way back to 6th here early on. Ryan Blaney from 9th to 5th on lap number 1. I don't even know what's going on. Bell, Hamlin at the front of the field have driven away. Reddick has sneaking up to 3rd. Briscoe in 4th. And Blaney's up to 5th. A lot of bumping and banging here on these restarts, man. It's just so crazy. I am sure these last chance qualifiers are just going to be full of cautions, to be honest with you. Now Hamlin looking to take the lead from Bell. Thought about it. Gives him a bit of a love tap off of turn 4. But yeah, what I was mentioning, when they came to green, Bell started on the outside, Hamlin started on the inside, and it looked like we were going to try and see some team orders, like Bell was going to try and slide down into the lead of the front row, into the lead of the inside line, but Hamlin was not able to get on the gas in time and almost just ran them both into the wall, and that caused a lot of chaos and at the front of the field. But already 5 laps complete now, working lap number 6. And Hamlin going to give a shot to Bell, and now Hamlin going for the lead on the inside of his teammate into turn 3. Denny Hamlin looks like he's going to be your new leader at the Clash. And Bell is going to be in trouble here, as now Reddick is going to fill the gap behind the 11, and he's going to drop back to 3rd, and he might even lose some more ground here, as Chase Briscoe and Blaney are still on his bumper. Yeah, Reddick will now take 2nd place at the line, and Briscoe is still not going to allow Bell to get back to the inside. Bell's having a lockup on the outside, and he has dropped from the lead all the way back to 4th, and he may lose some more spots. He is getting freight trained like it's Martinsville, and now Blaney is going to be trying to get by Bell as well. Blaney started last. He's worked his way up to 4th. A really impressive run here from that number 12 Menards machine, and Bell will finally find a spot in line, but all the way back in 5th. Your running order, though, right now behind him is Gilliland, Keselowski, Suarez, and Yaley. And Suarez trying to go by Keselowski here. Suarez started 3rd, and he has fallen all the way back to 8th. That 99 machine's really struggling. He just got by Keselowski, though. Keselowski, you could argue, is struggling even more. He has just not been able to find out this race, or figure out this racetrack, I should say. But it's Hamlin with a half a second lead over Reddick at the front of the field, then another half a second back to Briscoe. And whoa, Bell really threw it into turns 1 and 2 there, almost lost it. But there's about a second gap from 5th to 6th place, so unless there's a caution, your top 5 might just be safe here. Your top 5 all run within 2.5 seconds of each other. Then there's a second gap back to the 6th position, then another about 2.5 seconds back to 7th and 8th. Suarez and Keselowski are battling pretty hard right now. I would not be surprised if maybe we see a caution come from those two guys racing side by side. We'll see. Keselowski takes 7th back from Suarez. Now Suarez going to dive it up on the inside of the 6. Oh, I thought the 6 almost was about to go around there. Oh, here comes Keselowski. He's going to give a shot to the back of the 99. And these guys, they're just trading blows right here. Yeah, I would definitely think that there might be a caution coming from contact between the 99 and the 6. These guys are going at it for 7th place. Nowhere near the battle for the transfer spot at the moment, but keeping us interested. Hamlin with 8 to go, out front by 0.7 of a second over Reddick. Briscoe at 1.2 seconds back. Blaney 1.7 back. Bell still 2.5 back in 5th. But like I said, every position really counts here. It's not just the transfer spots. You know, transferring's one thing. Each position you gain in your heat race is 4 positions higher that you'll start in the main event. So that is a lot of valuable track position. And Suarez and Keselowski, this time, as I predicted, Suarez has dumped the 6 car. And we are going to get our first caution, and just like that, your field will get bunched back together, and your top 5 no longer safe. And thanks to everybody watching. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm kind of struggling today because we got some people live streaming the actual race. I have never seen it like this, man. There are at least 10, 20 bots streaming the race. So that is making it difficult for guys like myself. But I guess what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Thanks, everybody, tuning in, though. A long time no see. How you doing, Tate? Thanks for tuning in here. So, yeah, Suarez just dumped Keselowski to kind of bunch the field back up together, so that way he'd have a shot at racing his way in. Hamlin's going to go low at the choose cone, so will Reddick. Then Briscoe will be the first car high. Then Blaney goes low. Bell goes high. Then that was the 38 going low. Then the 99 went high. So Blaney currently has the final transfer shot based on the choose cone positioning. They'll get restarted with 6 to go. The Chrome Horns are going to be coming out here. Green flag will be coming out next time by. Hamlin on the inside, Briscoe on the outside. I think both of them are pretty safe here. Then row 2, Reddick on the inside, Bell on the outside. Row 3 is Blaney on the inside, Suarez on the outside. Row 4 is Gilliland and his outside. J.J. Yaley. Rounding out your field is Brad Keselowski. Hamlin on the inside with a good restart here. Green flag back in the air. 6 to go. Reddick with a shot to your leader. And your top 5 stay the same on lap number 1. Blaney and Bell side by side for 4th place right now. Reddick trying to hold off Briscoe for 2nd at the front of the field. 5 to go, 5 to go. Gilliland's clear for 6th. Then Suarez and Keselowski side by side for 7th. Oh, a big bump from Bell to the back of Blaney. That's going to push Blaney to the outside. This might give Gilliland an opportunity here. 4 to go, coming to 3 to go. Blaney on the outside right here, the odd man out. Gilliland using the bumper. He's going to push Bell by Blaney, but he's also going to get in front of Blaney now. Oh, my goodness. Bell is around. Blaney pushed the 38, who pushed the 20, and just like that, Christopher Bell has looped it. He started on pole for this event, and just like that, I said he was safe. I said he was safe at the beginning of this stream, and just like that, nobody's safe. So Bell goes by Blaney as well as Gill, and then Blaney just runs through the back of the 38, who has no choice but basically run over the 20, and that sends Bell around into turn 1. So we're going to get restarted with 3 to go. It's going to take almost a miracle for him to find a way in here. But I would be worried about Bell getting back to my bumper if I was Ryan Blaney. Now Stenhouse and Elliott kind of joking, possibly saying like, oh yeah, that's what we were just doing. And in a very sarcastic tone over the radio, Christopher Bell was just saying, this is fun. We're having fun. But imagine that in a very sarcastic tone. Okay, so with 3 to go, not a lot of time to make any moves here, but Gilliland has worked his way up into the top 5. Blaney is currently the man on the cut line. Here's where they're going to restart. Hamlin, the first car on the inside, Briscoe to his outside, then Reddick on the inside of row 2, Blaney to his outside. On row 3 is going to be Gilliland down low, Suarez up high. Row 4 was going to be, I think, row 4 is, actually, I take that back. Row 3 is, Gilliland on the inside, Bell on the outside. Then everybody else is just single file on the inside line, just going to be trying to use their bumpers as much as they can. Oh, that's an interesting choice by Bell. Yeah, he goes high, so instead of restarting all the way back in 9th because of the choose cone, he's able to restart all the way up in 6th. But he's going to be right on the bumper of Ryan Blaney, so this might get interesting right here. Here they go. Green flag back in the air. 3 laps to go. What is Bell going to do? Into turn 1. Hamlin stays out front. Briscoe goes a bit wide. Oh, Bell gets pretty hard contact with the outside wall there off of turn 2. Suarez gives a shot to the back of Gilliland. That's going to push Gilliland and Blaney wide. 2 to go. Somebody locks up there in your top 3. Gilliland staying in 4th. He's fighting hard. Blaney and Suarez side by side for 5th. Oh, Blaney going to give the boot big time to the 38. Now white flag is out. Oh, are we going to see any payback here? Blaney using the bumper quite a bit in this round. They're side by side for 5th place. Suarez on the inside, Gilliland on the outside. Can Gilliland hold on to it? He's not going to be able to. Suarez shoves his way into the top 5, and Gilliland comes home in 7th. Tough break for Todd Gilliland and Christopher Bell. Both of those guys were running well, but the Chrome Horns came out, and they were on the short end of the stick. EJ, too quick. You're a little late. You've only missed the first 2 heat races. The main event still, is quite a ways away, but now Hamlin will start 3rd, Briscoe 7th, Reddick 11th, Blaney in 15th, and Elliott in 19th. Oh, boy. Thanks to everybody tuning in.
I'm managing my high blood pressure, but I'm still a target for chronic kidney disease. And my type 2 diabetes means I'm also a target.
I know. I got you right. I got your name right, EJ, too quick. Thanks to everybody tuning in. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe. We're kind of struggling today because there are quite a few channels out there that are streaming the race illegally on the YouTube platform, but oh well. If they get shut down, those viewers will come over here. But thanks to everybody tuning in. Sub goal is 3,200. I don't know if we're going to get it today, man, unless those other streams get taken down. Appreciate the 20 of you that are sticking with me today, but usually we got a couple hundred. But every stream can't be a total success. Still, thanks to everybody tuning in. Man, these heat races have delivered for sure, and I don't even know what to expect from these. Oh, I also just realized something. Side note, Chase Elliott was pushed to the last chance qualifier, and I was like, unless Bell or Chastain misses their heat race and they get pushed to the last chance qualifier, he would be in. But because Bell got eliminated, which I thought was really unlikely since he was starting on pole, it did happen somehow, some way. And the result was, that Elliott is going to have to race his way in through one of the last chance qualifiers. So there is potential somehow that your Chase Elliott could miss out on the clash. That would be pretty crazy. Still to come, though, is going to be Chastain on track. So if Chastain somehow does not race his way in, then Bell will also have to find a way to make his way into the main event through the last chance qualifier. But your lineup now on the screen for heat race number 4. William Byron on pole to his outside. A.J. Allmendinger, who is now going to be full-time in the NASCAR Cup Series on row 2. The driver I was just talking about, Ross Chastain, he is locked into the main event no matter what happens because Logano already locked his way in. He is now the next highest driver in points. So he could just, for whatever reason he wants to, not compete in this heat race, and he would have a spot guaranteed in the main event. The reason he's not going to race is because then he would have to start at the tail end of the main event rather than potentially inside the top 10. But yeah, then behind him, Bubba Wallace, and then Eric Jones is your final driver who's going to be starting in one of the transfer spots. Ryan Preece in 6th. He was able to race his way in one of the Rick Ware Racing cars last year. You got to think he's going to be able to do it in Stuart Haas equipment this year. Then Corey LaJoie in 7th, Cody Ware 8th. Then Ty Gibbs, who's in, I believe, the same car he raced in yesterday. That thing caught on fire. Before that fire, it showed a lot of pace. We'll have to see if that fire caused any damage that might slow it down. Hey, we're up to 20 likes. I appreciate it. And that's pretty cool. EJ, too quick. Oh, man, we lost 2 subs. We lost 2 of them. Oh, brother. Still, fingers crossed that one of these, big streams that are, stream the race might possibly get taken down. We'll see, though.
Back then, it was the hard pack sand that allowed for records to be broken. Today, it's the high banks and long straightaways. Not to mention, it's the dream of every driver and fan, offering a moment of glory that will extend well beyond 500 miles for years to come.
Okay, so the final heat race is going to be coming up. Then following that will be the 2 last chance qualifiers. The main event still is going to be starting later tonight at 8:30. We're probably going to take a break after the second last chance qualifier and then shift into the second stream for that main event broadcast later tonight at 8. So I'm going to assume that the last chance qualifiers are probably going to take us up to about 7 o'clock, so there will be about an hour and a half break in between there. Yes, we will, Tate Flag, but man, the SRX, that still feels so long away. I might have to finally make my way out to one of those SRX races this year. We'll see. Thanks to everybody watching so far. Here we go, though. You're going to Stafford? That'll be pretty cool, Tate. A lot of NASCAR drivers racing, or current NASCAR drivers, I should say, racing in the SRX this year. So Byron on the inside, Allmendinger on the outside, then Chastain on the inside of row 2. To his outside will be the 23 of Bubba Wallace. On row 3, you got Eric Jones on the inside, Ryan Preece to his outside. Row 4 is Corey LaJoie and Cody Ware, and right out in field is Ty Gibbs. But here they come. The green flag is back out here in heat race number 4. William Byron with a pretty good jump here. He looks like he's going to be able to clear Collick, I should say. Allmendinger for the lead down the back straightaway. Now Chastain looking to take second place away from A.J. Allmendinger. Eric Jones up to 4th here already. Chastain to the inside of Allmendinger. He's going to take second place away from the 16 off of turn 2. The 16 looked for the crossover, but it wasn't there. Bubba Wallace losing a couple spots here early on. He has dropped back to 5th. He's in a battle for 4th with Eric Jones. Eric Jones using that preferred line, giving a couple bumps. Eric Jones receiving a couple bumps from, I believe, Ryan Preece. Jones fighting down low. Still keeping that 4th spot. Wallace with the 5th spot. Now Jones going to be able to clear Wallace, and Wallace is going to be able to slide down in front of Corey LaJoie, so he'll take 5th place. But no, LaJoie going to give a shot to the inside of the 23. But not going to be able to keep him out of the groove. A lot of bumping and banging here. And now Ryan Preece is going to be able to have an open shot on the inside of the 7 here for 6th place. And Ryan Preece will take 6th position away from the 7 car. Ty Gibbs is up to 8th, and Cody Ware is down in 9th. 20 to go here in heat race number 4. Byron out front by over a second over Ross Chastain. That's, I think, our biggest lead we've seen so far today. Allmendinger is a second and a half back off the lead in 3rd. Jones 2 seconds off, and Wallace in 5th, 2.7 seconds off. Then there's a bit of a gap to Preece in 6th, who's 3.3 seconds off of the leader. I see some Gibbs fans in the chat. So far, he's struggling a little bit, but I don't think he hasn't tried to do too much here early on. Still, all these guys that don't race their way in here are going to have a shot in the last chance qualifier. Going to be coming to 15 to go this time by. Byron maintains about a second lead over Chastain. Allmendinger 3rd. And Wallace is going to be taking 4th place back from Eric Jones. Ryan Preece in 6th has kind of closed the gap back up to Eric Jones. So the battle for that final transfer spot is alive once again. Corey LaJoie kind of struggling back in 7th. Ty Gibbs giving the bumper to the 7 car, trying to take 7th position away. Now Ty Gibbs is slowly working his way forward. Now he's got 7th place. But there's about a second gap from him to Ryan Preece. But Ryan Preece battling intensely with Eric Jones. He's given the bumper to the back of the 43. And Jones on the outside now has the less preferred line. And Ryan Preece looks like he's going to be able to take 5th place from the 43 car. Ahead of him, Bubba Wallace has reeled in the 16 of AJ Allmendinger and made the pass. Allmendinger is now back to 4th. He's kind of fallen into a possible spot of jeopardy. But Preece now holds the final transfer spot. Behind him, Gibbs and LaJoie are kind of battling pretty hard right now for that 7th spot on the racetrack. 10 to go in heat race number 4. Byron's lead now almost 2 seconds. But Bubba Wallace, the fastest car on the racetrack right now, he's looking to take 2nd place away from Ross Chastain. Bubba lost a couple spots on the initial race start, but now he's slowly working his way forward, trying to take 2nd place. But from 2nd through 6th, they are all basically in a conga line, nose to tail. Ryan Preece trying to take 4th away from Allmendinger, so that way he's no longer that car that's at risk. 7 to go. We still have not seen a caution-free heat race yet. This might be the first one. Preece is going to be able to get to the inside of the 16 there. Not quite able to hold it down the front straightaway. All this time, though, he's closer down the backstretch. Preece to the inside of Allmendinger for 4th. And they're going to make a decent amount of contact there. Can't quite seal the deal in that set of turns. Down in turns 1 and 2, more contact. We saw what happened yesterday when AJ got a bump from somebody. He returned the favor. And now Preece is up to 4th. Allmendinger back to 5th. And he is stuck on the outside, though. Jones was able to get to the inside of him. Oh. The 43 versus the 16 for the final transfer spot. Eric Jones trying to take it away from AJ Allmendinger. 3 to go in this heat race. Ty Gibbs has also just entered this battle at the last moment, but he might be here too late. 2 to go. The 43's gotten to the inside of the 16. AJ Allmendinger now in jeopardy. They're side by side. 1 to go. Ty Gibbs also in the mix. Oh, but he gets really sideways there off of turn 4. That might have cost him it. Oh, Jones just shoves the 16 wide. Allmendinger's got no chance here. Is Gibbs willing to use the bumper on Jones? He's going to give the 43 a shot, but not enough. And Eric Jones is just going to be able to fight his way into the top 5. Oh boy, Gibbs and Allmendinger are going to the last chance qualifier. Those guys are probably going to put on some fireworks. Neither one of those guys wants to miss this event. But your top 5, Byron dominated that one. He's going to be somebody to look out for in the main event, but as well, Bubba Wallace, who slowly charged his way from 6th to 2nd throughout that heat race. Then Chastain 3rd, Preece 4th, Jones 5th. So Byron will start 4th, Wallace will start 8th, Chastain 12th, Preece 16th, and Jones in 20th. Next up, the last chance qualifiers. We will have 2 races of 8 cars where the top 3 will both make it in, or make it in each of those 2 races. So the bottom 4, or the bottom 5, I should say, in each of those 2 last chance qualifiers will go home. So it's going to be Bell who is going to get that playoff provisional. So I don't think he's going to even have to compete in his last chance qualifier, but Elliott will. So now Chase Elliott could potentially miss the clash. That would be, I don't think anybody saw that coming. But thanks to everybody tuning in here. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Last chance qualifiers coming up next on Freeman Motorsports. If you're looking to find this race, it's on Big Fox. Kenneth Clark, this is the last of the heat races. Now there's 2 last chance qualifiers. Then there will be about an hour or so break, and then there will be the main event later tonight starting at 8:30. So we're going to take a break on the live stream in between those 2 events. So probably the last chance qualifiers probably end at about 6:45. We'll probably go live around 8:15. Gotta stay hydrated.
What the heck was that? They invite Sarah.
Yes, Chastain does hold the record for the fastest lap ever turned at Martinsville Speedway. And honestly, that may stay the same for the rest of NASCAR history.
Embrace wrong turns.
What are my thoughts on Harvick retiring after the 2023 season? Well,
Your next wrong turn.
he is going to be retiring after the 2023 season. I'm not quite sure exactly what you're asking for. I mean,
Toyota.
in terms of who's going to fill that seat, I think it's a wide open race. You know, if Custer performs really well, then he could probably come back to that seat. Otherwise, I really got no idea, man. I might make a video on that a little later in the season once maybe a couple names are ruled out, etc.
We don't stay within the lines. We race outside the box. We turn fans into family, outlaws into heroes. We're the loudest party on earth. We're everything you'd never expect.
Thanks to everybody tuning in.
NASCAR returns.
First last chance qualifier. We'll see if once the lineup gets updated. Not quite sure what the lineup is going to be for it.
In 2 weeks, the 2023 NASCAR season
Oh man, Daytona. It's so close.
race.
Still 2 weeks away.
Sunday, February 19th.
But the actual NASCAR Cup Series season starts in 2 Wednesdays.
A lot of big names going to end up in the last chance qualifier racers. Final opportunity to make the big dance. So we open the door to let Joey Logano out. Think you can guess who the cat dragged in? Not him. He's got to go race. Got to make the big show.
Anyway, so the first last chance qualifier is going to be McDowell on the inside for pole, Bell on the outside, but Bell has his provisional, so I don't think he may not even bother racing. We'll see. Then Harrison Burton in third, Gilliland fourth, Ty Dillon fifth, Keselowski sixth, Buescher seventh, and Yaley eighth. So your top 3 make it in. I would assume Bell's not even going to bother competing in this, but we'll see. But that would mean it would be McDowell, Burton, Gilliland, Ty Dillon, Keselowski, Buescher, Yaley. Okay, the only driver I'm really ruling out of this one is going to be J.J. Yaley in the 15. And then the 2 RFK cars, man, they have really struggled. If they both miss again, that's going to be really disappointing. I think that both FRM cars will probably make it in, and then it'll be a battle between probably Harrison Burton and Ty Dillon for that final spot. I'd probably give the edge to Harrison Burton, but we all remember what Ty Dillon did here last year. The agent of chaos.
See how much you can save by bundling with Geico.
Ray Magliozzi here. eBay Motors has the right parts at the right prices. Hey, Dave?
Yep. Wait.
How are those new wipers?
EJ too quick. Sounds good.
They're small.
For parts that fit your vehicle, look for the green check. Let's ride.
It's called the birthplace of speed. Back then, it was the hard pack sand that allowed for records to be broken. Today,
We'll be checking in with you guys later tonight for the main event. Can't wait for that, like I've been saying.
offering a moment of glory that will extend well beyond 500 miles for years to come. We're still talking about the future, and guarantee we'll be talking about this one. Here's to the great American race that can only be the Daytona 500.
Oh boy, I just keep seeing more of these Daytona 500 commercials. Just continues to get me more and more excited. Oh, just gonna correct this leaderboard here real quick. Yeah, McDowell, Bell, Harrison Burton, Gilliland, Ty Dillon, Keselowski, Buescher, Yaley. This heat race. Honestly, though, Bell has that provisional, so they haven't announced it yet, but I would probably imagine that he's not going to bother racing. Now, what he is sacrificing is if he were to win this first last chance qualifier, he would be starting in 21st versus 27th, which is a 6th position difference, but it's probably not worth possibly tearing up the race car, to be honest with you. For instance, last year, I can't quite recall who had the provisional, but they sat it out.
Bump and run at the LA Colosseum. In fact, we went all through Kevin Harvick's heat race to see if he could find one clean lap where either nobody bumped him or he didn't bump anybody. We put our best replay people on it. Boy, that became
Here comes this first heat race. I'm looking to see if Bell's even out on the racetrack.
Kyle Busch, Tony Stewart, going to be a crowded house here.
I don't believe he is, so might be taking advantage of that provisional.
Yeah, you've got the right name on that car. You're doing okay. That was an entertaining heat race to watch, but it was not entertaining to drive. That was
So right now we're talking to Harvick, who, remember, had that thrilling finish in his heat race between him and Elliott. You know, they're just talking about, yeah, it's not really racing. It's more so just high-speed bumper cars. But I think everybody watching this also realizes this. It's really just kind of a fun spectacle to kind of get everybody a little excited for the preseason. Or not preseason, but for the actual season.
You weren't so close that you couldn't make a move. You stayed back off of him a little bit. When the contact did happen, you allowed yourself to turn underneath of him. And Joey thought that was. And the crowd went wild.
And here's the thing that's unique right now is the paint doesn't have any rubber on it, so getting down there, the car just.
But here comes the next heat race, or should I say last chance qualifier. Trying to keep things engaging here. So yeah, Bell is, I think, going to be sitting this one out. No, he is not. Wow, that is super surprising. Bell's not sitting this one out. I am kind of surprised by that. Here we go. Bell starting second on the outside line. It'll be McDowell on the inside. And then Bell to his outside. Burton on the inside of row 2. Gilliland to his outside. Row 3 is Ty Dillon on the inside. Keselowski to his outside. Row 4, Chris Buescher and J.J. Yeley bring up the rear. So just 8 cars in it here. The top 3 make it in. The bottom 5 go home almost for good. And the green flag is out here already. McDowell with a good restart. And Harrison Burton trying to stay on the inside of Bell, not let him get any moments to breathe here. And Harrison Burton trying to take second place away from Bell. Not going to be able to quite get him at the line, but he's got the preferred line through turns 1 and 2. He might be able to seal the deal down the back straightaway. Blaney trying to finish off Christopher Bell behind him. Keselowski's had a solid restart. He's up to 4th place. Or actually, no, that's a 38, man. All these red cars kind of get me slightly confused. But no, Gilliland in 4th. Man, Bell really fighting on the outside. Oh, but that time he got a little over it. A little over the edge. That cost him some position that he was gaining. Oh, once again, Bell really sideways there through turns 1 and 2. He's going to try and slide down in front of the 38, but he's not going to be able to. And now Gilliland will take 3rd place. Now Bell, he does have a locked-in spot in the main event, so he could just quit right here. But he's, for now at least, continuing to race on. Now Ty Dillon is up to 4th. Keselowski trying to get by Bell on the inside for 5th place. Now this is a 50-lap last chance qualifier, so a lot of time for things to happen. McDowell is growing his lead up to 0.8 of a second, and then it's another second back to Gilliland in 3rd, and then about a half a second gap from 3rd to 4th place. And Bell is going to be able to, he is using this high line better than almost anybody else has so far, but it might just be that his car is so much stronger than these guys he's competing against. At the front, though, Harrison Burton kind of reeling in that 34 car just a bit. And Bell has fallen into 5th place. Okay, so here's what the 20 car is doing now. Even though he has that locked-in spot, he is choosing to race to kind of just gain more knowledge about the track and the car. So honestly, I can't really fault them for that. Yeah, right now, Bell putting down some really solid lap times right now. He's reeling in Ty Dillon once again for that 4th position. Michael McDowell at the front has been caught by Harrison Burton. Now, Harrison Burton was in a transfer spot in his heat race until he got spun out. That's kind of a similar story for a lot of these guys competing in this heat race. Meanwhile, Bell is going to go by Ty Dillon for 4th place. Even though Bell said that he doesn't really care if he gets one of these transfer spots because he has that provisional, he might end up just accidentally taking one away here from the 38 just because his car is so strong. 14 laps down, still 36 to go. McDowell still out front. I wonder how hard Harrison Burton is going to race him for this lead, considering that they're pretty much locked in at this moment, not under too much pressure. Their field getting kind of separated here as the laps wind on. But Bell running the fastest laps on the racetrack right now as he's starting to reel in your top three. He was 2 seconds behind these leaders not too long ago. Now the gap is down to 1.4 seconds. At the front, though, your top three have actually started to bunch together. McDowell, I don't know if his car has fallen off or the other guys are just finding a bit more pace on the long run. Harrison Burton, who's been hunting the bumper of this 34 for the last couple laps, has now also been caught by Todd Gilliland. And behind them, Christopher Bell might just be joining this battle for the top three. Ty Dillon kind of still remains within striking distance back in fifth, and the two RFK cars who just struggled last year at this racetrack are struggling again today. Definitely got to be a disappointing performance for that team. Then J.J. Elliott rounds out the field in eighth. If this thing does go green for all 50 laps, we could see some lap traffic play a role depending on if J.J. Elliott chooses to get out of the way. You know, maybe you could possibly use that 15 car as a pick. The 38 gives a bit of a shot to the back of the 21. And now your top four are separated by literally just 9/10 of a second. McDowell, Burton, and Gilliland all trying to find their way in. Bell already has a guaranteed spot in the final. It doesn't matter if he finishes in the top three or not. The one driver that is rooting for Christopher Bell right now is Chase Elliott, because if Christopher Bell makes his way in here, then Chase Elliott will then have that provisional. And Bell is going to be able to get to the inside of Gilliland in turns 3 and 4 and easily complete that pass. So Christopher Bell now has one of the transfer spots. And Ty Dillon going to give a shot to the back of Todd Gilliland, and Ty Dillon is up to 4th. Gilliland back to 5th. At the front of the field, Burton's been really patient with McDowell so far as we're at the halfway point. I'm going to be surprised if he doesn't choose to start to use that bumper as he starts to see that 20 Interstate Batteries car get bigger in his rearview mirror. These leaders are probably going to be catching the tail end of the field here in a couple of laps. We'll see, like I said, if J.J. Ely plays a role here in this battle for the lead or the transfer spots. Man, Todd Gilliland and Ty Dillon kind of going at it right here. We could possibly see a potential caution between the 77 and the 38, but they might want to stop battling and get to racing because the top three are driving away from them right now. Kozlowski starting to reel in that battle for 4th and 5th place. 21 laps to go. Are they actually having a commercial break during one of these last chance qualifiers? I can't believe it. These things are only like 10 minutes. And they're getting in a commercial break. This better be a quick commercial break or else we're going to come back and only have like 2 laps to go. I will say, though, right now, unless it goes, if it goes caution-free, I think your top 3 are going to stay the same.
Now with 2.9% financing for 72 months, get an average $10,207 in finance savings on our most popular models.
The Busch guy, cold and smooth survival skills.
Thanks to everybody tuning in. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe. I appreciate it. I'll just check up on the chat right now, I guess, since we are under commercial break.
Head for the mountains.
Wouldn't it be great if
There will not be a pit stop in these last chance qualifiers. They do not need to pit, and they will not need to pit even in the main event unless they have a flat tire or an issue of some sort. Matter of fact, you're not allowed to change tires unless you have a flat tire.
Your granddaughter's gonna love that. Third generation sailor.
Oh, what are we seeing? Like some battle, some like disses in the chat. We seen battles in chat. What's going on here? Thanks to everybody tuning in. We got 20 people watching right now. I appreciate it. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already.
Ashley's President's Day preview sale going on now. This week only. Beat the crowds and get early access to the best President's Day.
No one cares.
Throughout the store and online, and explore
Okay, hopefully this commercial break ends here pretty quickly. And okay, they're back. I think. Yes, they are. Oh no, it's Chicago street course commercial. Yeah, we're literally going to come back, and unless it's a caution, it's going to be like 5 laps to go. Which, to be honest, we're probably not going to miss too much action because your top 3 were kind of driving away. No, we'll see. And we are back racing here, and they are still under the green flag. And your leader is, I'm not sure who. It's McDowell, who's actually driven away. He was under pressure from, he's got the 21. Now he's got a 2.5 lead almost. Then Harrison Burton in second. Bell still in third. Todd Gillen, those closed his way back up to this top 3. And he's all over the bumper of Bell with 9 laps to go. What is Gillen willing to do? He knows Bell has a way already into the clash. So I feel like he is, willing to do whatever it takes against the 20 car. He just has to stay within striking distance. And Bell, Harrison Burton, I don't know if Bell pushed him or not. We'll have to see a replay there. Harrison Burton might have just pushed it a little bit too far. And just like that, Bell is up to second place. Gillen's up to third. Yeah, no, Harrison Burton just lost it on his own, and that might have just cost him a transfer spot. He just drove it in there way too deep. And now it's McDowell, Bell, Gilliland, and Burton. These are the longest runs these guys have driven in these cars at this racetrack. So the car might be doing some things they haven't seen before. 5 to go. McDowell has a 2-second lead over Bell, who's under a bit of pressure from Gilliland. Harrison Burton was kind of just holding up those guys behind him, and now that he's been passed by him, it looks like he's just got to hope there's a caution. And honestly, the only way I see a caution happening is between Keselowski and Ty Dillon. Those are the only 2 cars really near each other on the racetrack right now. Ty Dillon in 6th, Keselowski in 5th, Buescher, Yaley, Burton, and those are bottom 5. Those guys all are going to be eliminated. They do not have a provisional unless they somehow find a way back into this top 3 with 2 to go. McDowell can just kind of coast here to the finish ahead of Bell. And Chase Elliott is so happy right now because he no longer has to worry about being eliminated because Bell will lock his way in and that provisional will fall to him. And Michael McDowell will win last chance qualifier number 1. Bell comes home second. Gilliland in third. Like I predicted, both front row motorsports cars able to find their way in. I did not think Bell was going to actually race this last chance qualifier, but he chose to, and that eliminated Burton. Both RFK cars, Yaley and Ty Dillon. All those guys going home. Thanks to everybody watching, though. So, McDowell will start 21st, Bell will start 23rd, and Todd Gilliland will start 25th. Bro, guys, chill out. Chill out in the chat. Chill out in the chat. Drop a like if you guys haven't already. Appreciate it. So next up is the second last chance qualifier. Some other big names going to be having to race their way in through that. Oh my gosh. This is humorous to watch, I really can't lie. Honestly, it was a bit more entertaining than the last one. Okay, maybe the second last chance qualifier will maybe be a little bit more entertaining than the first. We'll see. Okay, so you have in your second heat race, you got Chase Elliott, Ty Gibbs. Okay, actually, gotta make sure I update both leaderboards. Oh, just realized. I'm sorry. I forgot to update the bottom half of the leaderboard. Doing that right now, though. But it's Chase Elliott on pole, Ty Gibbs in second, Stenhouse in third, then Allmendinger fourth, Cindric fifth, and then behind them in sixth will be Corey LaJoie, seventh, BJ McLeod, eighth, Cody Ware. Okay, so my predictions for this part of the show, I'm going to say Corey LaJoie is going to be, I think he's got the best shot at possibly maybe finding a way in here. I also assume that Elliott's going to take the provisional, but maybe he'll choose to race this one out. If he does choose to race this one out, I'm really not sure who that, I think that provisional is probably going to fall to Austin Cindric. Maybe Chris Buescher? I don't know. I assume that he's probably just going to take that provisional, I'd imagine. So that means that it'll be Gibbs in the front, then Stenhouse in second, Allmendinger third, Cindric fourth, LaJoie fifth, and then I'm going to kind of rule out McLeod and Ware, to be honest with you. So if Elliott doesn't race, then I would have already kind of 3 guys out of this 8 that I would assume probably aren't going to be in that top 3. So I think Ty Gibbs, Stenhouse, Allmendinger are going to be your top 3. I don't know. Cindric possibly could find a way, and then LaJoie, maybe if he gets a little lucky, we'll see. And thanks to everybody tuning in once again. Appreciate everybody watching. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to be live later tonight for the main event. Probably starting that live stream around 8:15. Mark, you're rooting for the 54 and the 47 in this heat race. I would say, I just want Stenhouse to find a way in. So it looks like Chase Elliott also going to race in this heat race, or in this last chance qualifier. And I think since he started on pole, if he can maintain that lead on the first lap and then just kind of drive away, that does make a difference. Because instead of starting 27th, he'll be starting 22nd, which 5 spots on such a small track and such a short race really does make a big difference. So if he does choose to race, I'm just trying to think, who does that provisional fall to? I'm not sure if it's based on driver's points from last year or owner's points from last year. I'm going to assume it's driver's points. Now, driver's points makes more sense. So I would think that it's going to be Austin Cindric because he was a playoff driver last year. And there's no other playoff drivers in this group. In the first heat race, there weren't any playoff drivers in there. So Austin Cindric could end up getting provisional here if things work out for him. But then if Austin Cindric and Chase Elliott were to qualify, I got really no idea from there on. It might be, I think it would probably be the 17 of Chris Buescher, I think. Not sure. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Appreciate everybody tuning in. For what it's worth. For what it is worth. We have made this stream so far. It is the 6th biggest video of the year. The 5th biggest stream. But we've only had 5 streams. We'll take that. We'll leave that out. Yeah.
Next Sunday, the big duel in the desert. The Super Bowl pregame show on Fox features performances by Jason Derulo.
Green flag for the second last chance qualifier coming up next.
And the guys break down the big game. It all kicks off at 1 Eastern, Super Bowl Sunday, only on Fox.
Oh my gosh, you guys are humoring me in the chat right now. Kenneth, you're rooting for Elliott in Austin Cindric? Yeah, I would say if Elliott races his way in, then yeah, that provisional falls to Austin Cindric. So your guys are probably going to end up being safe here. Now, if Elliott were to fall outside the top 3, then he would get it. And if Cindric's not outside the top 3, then he would miss. But okay, I was correct. So if Cindric also makes his way in, as well as Elliott, then it'll fall back to Chris Buescher. So one of the RFK cars might end up actually making it into the main event by just the teeth. I don't know. I don't know what the metaphor is. I forgot. But the green flag is about to be out here. Elliott on the inside, Ty Gibbs on the outside. Your top 3 will race their way into the big dance. Elliott with a good initial start here is going to be able to clear Gibbs down the back straightaway. Stenhouse kind of rubbing Allmendinger up there for that 3rd spot. Gibbs kind of misses the turn there in turns 3 and 4. He goes up the racetrack, but that's going to allow Allmendinger to duck down underneath to his inside. Oh, boy, these guys are racing really hard. And Cody Ware, what? I ruled out Cody Ware, but he has raced his way all the way up to 5th from 8th. And just like that, Elliott has checked down on the field, but Allmendinger has worked his way up to 2nd, Gibbs in 3rd, Stenhouse 4th, Cody Ware 5th, LaJoie 6th, Cindric 7th, and McLeod rounds out your field. Well, we'll see what happens here on the long run. And honestly, in my opinion, I think that Stenhouse might be out of luck here because the 2 cars ahead of him were both really fast on the long run in practice yesterday. Yeah, Elliott jumping out to a huge lead here in this last chance qualifier. Already 5 laps complete, but he's got over a 2nd lead. But I wouldn't rule out Allmendinger and Gibbs reeling him in. Like I said, they're both really fast in practice yesterday. Had just some bad luck in their heat races. And Gibbs is able to take that spot away from Allmendinger. Kind of looked like Allmendinger almost let him take it there. I think they're just not really worried about the guys behind him catching him. To be honest with you, Stenhouse really has not been able to make up much ground on him so far. And then Ware 5th, LaJoie 6th, Cindric 7th, McLeod 8th. Elliott up to a 2.5 lead over Gibbs. Allmendinger. Stenhouse, though, has kind of kept up with this battle for 2nd place, so he's not out of the mix yet. LaJoie and Cindric have gotten by Ware, so LaJoie up to 5th, but he is almost 2 seconds off this battle for the final transfer spot. And right now, Cindric is just hoping that Elliott somehow does not fall out of the top 3. We'll see if LaJoie can reel in this battle, though, for the final transfer shot. At the moment, it's about a 1.6 second gap this time at the line. Ooh, now it's up to 1.7 seconds. Elliott, though, even though Gibbs is starting to reel in Chase Elliott, Ty Gibbs versus Elliott, that might be the battle we're seeing here down the stretch in this heat race. Gibbs was the fastest car in practice on the long run until he had those mechanical issues. Seems like that car, even after that fire, still has pace in it, as he just picked up 2/10 on Elliott last time by. Allmendinger also making up some ground. Stenhouse, though, I had said he was kind of staying in touch with that battle for 3rd. He started to fade a little bit here. Like I said, on the long run, the 16 and the 54 were really strong in practice. So, honestly, Stenhouse's best bet might be Elliott getting passed by the 54 and the 16 and then somehow falling all the way back into his clutches. Lap traffic could also possibly be a possible issue in this last chance qualifier, as they've already put some guys almost over half a lap down and we're only 15 laps or so in. Austin Cindric has caught up to the bumper of Corey LaJoie. This is the battle for 5th place. Even though Cindric currently has that provisional, like I said, I would not put it out of the realm of possibility for Elliott to possibly fall out of the top 3, and then he would lose that provisional. Gibbs reeling in Elliott. Elliott had almost a 2-second lead earlier in the run. Now it's down to just half a second. Allmendinger also making up some ground in that lead. You can just see it as we look at him side by side. The 54 is just a lot smoother than the 9. Takes a higher entrance and really just cuts down across the corner where Elliott kind of enters low, almost more of a defensive line. And just like that, as we're coming up on the halfway point in Last Chance Qualifier 2, Ty Gibbs has caught up to your defending most popular driver of the year, Chase Elliott. Behind them, though, Austin Cindric in it with Corey LaJoie. This is the battle for 5th. And Cindric's going to be able to get by him in turns 1 and 2. He's up to 5th. But these guys are 3 seconds off of Stenhouse and 4 seconds off of A.J. Allmendinger. So they're going to need a caution or something to find a way into the main event. And Stenhouse still struggling to make up ground on this top 3. About 2 seconds off those podium positions. Elliott, though, currently has been able to stay ahead of Gibbs. Gibbs not really pushing the issue too much here. They're catching up to the 78 car here. And B.J. McLeod is just going to let him go to the inside. Does kind of hurt the 54's corner exit a little bit. And your top 3 able to easily negotiate by the 78. The 51 will also be coming up to be lapped here pretty soon, though. That could be another opportunity. But like I said in the Last Chance Qualifier number 1, this is the longest these guys have ran continually on this track. So they're going to be experiencing new things they haven't felt in these cars before. We are past the halfway point, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks to everybody watching. Can we get it up to 30 likes? I would appreciate it. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It's a free way to support what we do here at Freeman Motorsports. On the road to 3,200 subscribers. Oh boy. Ty Gibbs continuing to apply the pressure on the bumper of Chase Elliott. 22 laps to go. They are closing up on Cody Ware. They could use him as a pick here. Here we go, 20 to go. Reeling in the 51 to put him a lap down. Ty Gibbs almost got to the inside of the 9 there. And he might be able to get to the inside of the 9 if Cody Ware holds him up much. Oh, pretty good run there off of turn 4, but still just not close enough. Yeah, these top 3, they're really just kind of coasting here with 17 to go. It's a 2-second gap back to Stenhouse in 4th. Cindric is 5 seconds back off of the 3rd place car in 5th. LaJoie 8 seconds back, and Ware and McLeod both a lap down. So McCoy LaJoie could possibly go a lap down here in this heat. That could open up another passing opportunity for your leaders. Even though Ty Gibbs and Elliott are sometimes both considered as some of the more aggressive drivers in NASCAR, as well as A.J. Allmendinger in 3rd, it's really just not worth the fight here at this point. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it. Ty Gibbs able to cross under the 4 or under the 9 there off corner exit, but just still can't quite get alongside him. I'm trying to. Who's in the booth with them right now? Chase Elliott just hanging on here with 11 laps to go now. Ty Gibbs to the inside. Elliott His lead's still 0.3 of a second. Oh, Gibbs is going to be able to get to his inside. Almost. The lapper kind of put him in a compromised position. Oh, boy. Maybe he'll be able to close that gap up again. Meanwhile, Stenhouse has made up a little bit of time, but still he's going to have to make up a whole lot more than that.
Retaliation on the racetrack. Do you ever wish you could just retaliate on somebody out there on the 101 or something?
I don't know. I don't really have road rage. I feel like I'm always in community.
Now the gap from Allmendinger to Stenhouse has shrunk from 2 seconds to about 1.5 seconds.
I better pay attention. No, honestly, swear to God.
But we've only got about 8 laps to go at this point.
I'm a really good driver.
You're way better than that.
Better than Blake Shelton. I was gonna say he both got the same gun at the same time.
Chase Elliott has led every lap so far, just has to lead 6 more to get to the checkers.
Slowest driving, like
Gibbs has kind of faded a little bit off of his bumper. Still close enough to possibly make a move here with 5 laps to go. The gap from Allmendinger to Stenhouse now down to 1.4 seconds. With 5 to go, it's going to almost take a miracle.
About a second and a half back and unable to gain any ground. Even more frustrated, Ricky Stenhouse.
This time at the line, yeah, that gap's staying 1.5 seconds. And man, Stenhouse, he almost had one of those transfer spots in his heat race. Lost it in the final turn. And he's not going to be able to probably convert in the last chance qualifier. But with Chase Elliott just having to hang on for 2 more laps, and if he gets in this top 3, then the provisional will fall to Austin Cindric. Ty Gibbs going for the lead on the inside of Chase Elliott down low with 2 to go. Off the final turn, white flag in the air. Ty Gibbs still not ahead at the line. Chase Elliott and Ty Gibbs racing pretty clean here. Oh, it's going to be tight here. Coming to the finish. And off corner exit. Chase Elliott is going to be able to hang on and lead every lap in the last chance qualifier and get the win. Ty Gibbs second, Allmendinger third. Stenhouse comes up just short. Cindric fifth, but he will get the provisional and he'll start last in the main event. But Stenhouse, Ware, LaJoy, and McLeod are all going home, as well as Brad Keselowski, Chris Buescher, J.J. Yaley, and I'm pretty sure there's somebody else I forgot, but a couple more. But just like that, still a couple more laps to go. Or a couple more laps to go. What am I even saying? We still got about an hour and a half before the main event's going to start later tonight. I'm going to probably leave you guys here. Thanks to everybody who tuned in.
For us in general, I mean, this is right
This
in
is
your
a different
face
event for me in my life to be here standing with you guys.
But the one
This is
thing-
so odd.
Almost up to 30 likes. I appreciate it.
common with us in this particular event is the closeness of the action. You can feel,
Well, thanks to everybody tuning in. We'll be back later for the main event. Hopefully YouTube decides to take down some of those bots streaming the race. But we'll see. Okay. See you guys later. I'm out.